Today on the channel, we go retro with the brand new Mattel Creations Retro 4-pack with Hulk Hogan, Zeus, Miss Elizabeth, and Sensational Sherri.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Creations exclusive unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got the brand new Retro 4-pack. But for all your Retro 4-pack needs and a whole lot more, Mattel Creations. But for everything else under the sun, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. We got another 4-pack here, and it feels like, what is it, about once or twice a year we're getting a 4-pack from Mattel from their retros, and then we're getting 1 to 2 4-packs from Ringside Collectibles a year. So really not a ton of product coming out from Mattel as, let's compare them to the grapplers and gimmicks, the zombie sailors, the epic toys, the figure collections, so forth, so forth. We're getting a lot more retros where it feels like Mattel is lapping behind, which is a little interesting because Mattel is the big company that they're the big engine pumping out things. You could think they could pump out retros every single month if they want to. Be interested to see the future of retros with Mattel if they say, hey, we're going to hang these up. We're going to concentrate on the superstars, the elites, the ultimates, the main events, and leave this to the third parties. Not exactly sure how it might go, but the one thing we can say about Mattel that all these other companies don't have is they got the star power access with the WWE contract. So there's so many characters they could get retros of that all the third parties cannot. So that is a big difference, and then including that difference right here with some heavy hitters. But we'll do some comparisons. We'll do a few other things in this very video along the way. But first, let's look at the outer shell, the outer packaging on this. I always save the packaging on these retros. Right there, it is a very cool image, but boy, you just say, what is missing here? And we say, you know who's missing? It's Brutus the Barber Beefcake. We're missing Brother Brudai. Yeah, we are, but we're missing the Macho Man. It feels really not complete without the Macho Man. And I guess, like I said, Brutus Beefcake as well. But you do get Zeus, you got Rip, a.k.a. Hulk Hogan, you got Liz, and then, of course, you got Sensational Sherri. Got the down here, it says Official Retro 4-pack WWE. Got a little sideways shot there. You got this one, so you can display it different ways on your shelf, depending how you want to do it. And then you get the black and white back like we're used to with the retros across cells. We do see that Royal Rumble ring going on back there, and you can see everybody going on. And, of course, we unboxed that on the channel as well, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. You guys know how that's done. Off to the side, see you later, goodbye, because I already have them out of the package right here. And like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel as we're nearing 50,000 subscribers on this channel. When we do hit that, we're going to do some giveaways. We got some special stuff to do, so stay tuned for that in the future. But let's start this off, and let's go lady first. But we're going to go bad guy lady first. We're going Sensational Sherri, one of my all-time favorites. One thing I did notice out of the package, I unboxed this, the little J-hook on the top here, the cardboard is ripped. So ripped right inside the packaging. That is pretty sad because I do save the packaging on these. So I don't know how that would have happened, but here we are. Here we are. Classic WWE logo. Old scary Sherri over there. I remember as a kid thinking she was the ugliest woman in the world. Old Brutus Beefcake had me believing she was just terribly ugly. Now all these years later, I look back, you know, Sherri looked pretty good. Hey, shout out to Sherri for sure. Looking good in the packaging here. It does say with the sensational sucker punch, and we know Sherri, she wasn't scared to get involved. Black and white background, once again, UPC's jibber jabber. Let's see what it says down here for old Sherri. Sensational Sherri was crowned as the Macho Queen alongside the Macho King, and she sure was. She sure was. So we're going to pull her out. Got a little extra plastic piece in there. We're going to pull that back. And like I said, everything goes back in, save the packaging, ready to go with old scary Sherri. And there's old Sensational Sherri. Looking awfully big, looking awfully muscular here. We got to get the most out of our molds. We know how Mattel does that. We've seen this before. She does look a little bit off. She looks a little too much like China, unfortunately, if you ask me. These arms are too big for her. She does got that effect right there. Bam, that sucker punch. Watch out for it. There's articulation there, articulation on the other arm, waist articulation, and then you got the head back and forth. That is our retro articulation. She does got holes in her feet, so we'll be able to put her on a stand, which is nice. You give me this head sculpt, though. I know this is Scary Sherri. I know this is Queen Sherri. Does her tiara come off? I thought for a second, it's a dangerous game. It's a dangerous game. It feels like it does come off. I don't know. It does pull out, it looks like, but I think it does come off. So you can remove that if you want to, it looks to be. But she has got that crown there. She's got the crazy makeup with all the stars going on, the big old earrings, the red lipstick. Beautiful dental plan on Sherri, looking good. Black hair, big, thick black hair going on. Got the singlet top over there. And then we get some soft goods with Sherri here. So she's got the soft skirt going on. The skirt is removable if you want to. She could be in her wrestling gear. Choose your own adventure. Kind of nice to get soft goods. A little extra pizzazz for her. Got the black tights down low. Got some ballerina shoes. Not so much. High heels on her right here, but nice black shoes going on. Not a bad looking figure as far as Sherri goes, but the body is just too beefy for Sherri. Very, very beefy figure right here. Just doesn't look quite right. Does she fit on a ringside stand? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know if her hole's deep enough. Somebody's got to deepen that hole a little bit. It doesn't look like she wants to fit on there too well. So that's unfortunate. Like these ones to fit. There we go. There we go. Got her on there. So Sensational Sherri, not bad, just too muscular. And I think we're going to have the same fate with Liz over here. Of course, we're going ladies first. First lady of wrestling, as she's known in some circles. Liz looking only like she could look. Straight out of Kentucky, of course. And WWE logo up top. Got her looking good. You got the little thing. It says the slap attack. She's going to slap you. Watch out for that dreaded slap. We got the cross saw on the back. We got the blurb. We got the little jibber jabber down there, the UPC, everything going on. Miss Elizabeth was known as the first lady of the WWE. So there you go. Just like that. Like I said, she's known as the first lady. So now we're going to pull Sherri. We're going to pull Liz right out. Got the same little protector going on in the head there. Put it off to the side. Nice, gentle see you later. And let's see what Miss Elizabeth is up to here. Oh, she's got the karate chop is what it looks like. And it's supposed to be a slap, but I don't know anybody that slaps like this. I don't know. It is what it is. But you get the same body that we got with Sherri. So we're getting the most out of our molds. And right off the bat, Liz is too big. She is too muscular. She should be less muscular than Sensational Sherri. And then she's got some tree trunk legs on her down here. So that looks a little bit wild. Very, very thick in the leg department. Got the white high heels compared to the black. Basically, it's black and white. Good versus evil is what we see between these two, of course. Makes all the sense. But a nice top on her in white. Once again, soft goods skirt. A very short skirt on Liz, and she's ready to whip it out just like she did at, SummerSlam back in the day. Jesse Ventura couldn't believe his eyes, but you get Liz just ready to party, I guess. This is Party in Liz is what we'll call this one here. I'm going to class this place up and put this back on her. She's got the white top over the top. Of course, Liz not doing a lot of wrestling, as we know. I think her first match ever was probably in WCW, if I'm not mistaken. But she's got the earrings going on just like Sherri. Are they the same? Of course they're the same. They shop at the same place, apparently. But different head sculpt on her there. Obviously, it's Liz, not Sherri. But looking good. I think this looks enough like Miss Elizabeth to me. You got that kind of big curly hair going on. It was the 80s after all for Miss Elizabeth. And hopefully she'll fit on a stand. Oh, my goodness. There we go. Her hole a little bit. No, maybe not. These guys in their holes just need some work. They need some work in their hole game, that's for sure. But she does fit on there. So now we got the ladies first out of the way. We're going to turn our attention to the gentlemen. And we're going to go in order. We're going to go with Zeus. How about that? Zeus, no stranger. We've had, how many elites? Did we have only one elite? We had an elite, an ultimate, and then we had this, but we haven't had a WWE Superstars, have we? So wouldn't be shocked to see that in the future, but gotta get the most out of your molds, and old Zeus here, quite the guy, old Tiny Lester back in the day. And that was his name, I guess, what we'll call it. WWE logo, glamour shot. The figure itself, what is this finisher? The Zeus Slam. Oh, there it is. It's very similar to the Nikolai Kickalai, is what I've heard. Looking good here, of course. Got the little cross cell down there, or I guess the explanation of what's going on with Zeus right there. You got a little blurb down here, UPC's jibber jabber. Let's see what it says about Zeus. Zeus was an angry losing. Was angry. Okay, Kyle, reading with Kyle, sometimes it goes south. Zeus was angry losing and no holds barred, so he challenged Hulk Hogan in WWE. And that was a wild time. You guys know me, I wasn't a Hulkster guy, but I remember thinking how crazy it was that Zeus was showing up on WWE TV. And I was actually there for Saturday Night's Main Event once upon a time. Boss Man in the Cage, of course. So looking good in the packaging department. Ready to go with old Zeus. And Zeus, one of the iconic I wouldn't say iconic people in the WWE, but I would say iconic as far as the Mattel retros. As far as body styles, we saw this numerous times over the years. Now we're seeing it again with Zeus, but it feels like it does work with a Zeus here. So, of course, head sculpt, mean, mugging, angry, got the teeth glaring, you got the mustache, you got the... No unibrow on this one, though, unfortunately, but you got the 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the nose, and the mouth. You got the Z on the side of the head. He's ready to go. He's ready to represent Zeus, as we do know. Nice skin tone color, nice shine to the color as well. Got the painted on wrist tape there and the silver black attack. 2 open hands on him. He does got the black boots with silver trim. Then you got the black tights with silver trim that says Zeus on the side. A pretty good Zeus. I think this is what they should have done with Zeus, so this works out, checks out for me. Head back and forth. Of course, a little waist articulation. Hula hoop at the top. That's where he gets his sick dance moves. He's going to cut a rug out there on the dance floor. He might do it. You never know. And then the arms go up and down. So a pretty good representation of Zeus. I got no issues with this one right here. So feeling good, looking good is old Zeus. And Zeus's whole game's on point. He's fitting right on a stand. No issues with him fitting on a stand right there. Is Zeus, and now we're going to finish it all off. We're going to finish it off with Hulkamania, or Ripomania. He's going to give you the old rip. We remember that. And I didn't like Hulk Hogan. I've said it 1,000 times on the channel, but I loved No Holds Barred as a kid. I was all about it. I think it was just having a movie about wrestling with people that we know from wrestling, and it was a pretty cool thing. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but I enjoyed the movie. Definitely worth watching at least once in your life. This Hulkster, pretty good. We'll talk about it a little bit. We'll do some comparisons in a little bit here. But it does look really nice for what it is. Just a few complaints we'll get to. WWE logo, glamour shot once again. What's it say? The no boots barred. Oh, the Nikolai Kickalai strikes again is what we got going on. Not a fan of that, of course. On the back of the package, we've got the usual stuff we've seen. See what it says about it down here. Hulk Hogan is Rip. Hulk Hogan starred as Rip Thomas in the '89 film No Holds Barred. Oh, it truly was No Holds Barred. And I used to wrestle with my dad probably around that time. And he'd say, all right, we're going to do it No Holds Barred. We're going to do it No Holds Barred. And then we'd play basketball. I'd say, okay, it's going to be prison rules. And luckily I prepared for that with my stint in Oz back in the day. I'll never forget that stint. Dangerous stint, but I learned a lot being in prison for a while. So shout out to Oswald Penitentiary, of course. But looking good right there for the Hulkster. Now we're going to get old Rip out of the package. And one of the selling points on this one here is the title belt. Is this, I believe, our first title belt from the retros since the old Hasbro days. So I like that. I appreciate that. I just wish I could get it off a little bit easier. There we go. But it's nice to get this title belt. So belt collector's going to want this for sure. Winged Eagle in white going on, looking very, very nice. But cool to get a retro belt. Would love to see the Intercontinental Tag Team title belts as well in the retro line. So a little extra caveat, a little extra selling point with this one right here with the title belt for Rip, the Hulkster, of course. Now we're going to rip him, but man, we feel like we've been here before multiple times, of course, on this Hulk Hogan figure. Very tight joints, arms all the way around, of course, head side to side. You do get the Kickalai right there, which is a little too triggery for me. And then you do get the waist articulation. So usual retro articulation. Looks like the Hulkster, looks like Rip, whatever you want to call it. Got the long blonde hair. You got the sweatband that says Rip 'em. You got the, of course, hot dog tan throughout. You got to have that with the Hulkster. Rip 'em on the shirt, looking good. And something about the Hulkster in white and blue looks really, really nice because we're so used to the red and yellow or the black and white. This feels different. This really does stand out, of course. But I do like this one. Wrist tape on the side. You got the 2 fists of fury. Looking good. It looks like old Rip 'em himself. Not too bad. Not too bad, all things considered. Will he fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand? Uh-oh. Doesn't look like... Probably if I got the right stand. I had the Jazzware stand right there. I'm going to try to fit him on the regular. Yes, he fits right on that regular Mattel stand. But then that Kickalai will get you. You just got to be careful with that one there. But not too bad on the old Rip. But let's do some comparisons on these right now. I almost don't even know where to start at this point. I guess we'll start with Sherri. We'll go in order. Now, we did get a Sensational Sherri not too long ago from Grapplers and Gimmicks. And some people liked it. Some people didn't. I feel like this one might be a hair small. This is a hair big. They need to find one somewhere in the middle. Very similar figures here going for about the same exact thing. But you can see the differences. This almost reminds me of a cake topper in some ways as well. But there's some differences between the retros. Retros across the board have really struggled with females. I don't think we've had the perfect female figure in retro form. Maybe that's something we'll get in 2025. We'll see what happens there. But now diving into Hulk Hogan a little bit here. We've had the Hulkster in the past, and talk about getting the most out of your molds. Can we use a different body style for the Hulkster? We got it in the NWO version. We got it in the yellow and red. Now we get it in the white and blue. Exact same Hogan figure, just with different shirts and different colors and stuff, and different heads, I guess, in the Hollywood Hulk Hogan one. But this is the exact same figure, just painted differently. Feel like if we're going to do any more Hulk Hogans and retros, they better be retiring this body mold. We're over it. We're sick of it at this point here. Should bring the Macho Man in here for Liz. In between Liz and Sherri, just like the good old days. Who knows what's going to go, but we got the Macho Man, and this is a Macho Man throwing it back, of course, to the Hasbro days to see the scale between those. Should also bring Brother Love to the party. Why wouldn't we? I love you. Of course, this is all part of released at the same time as the Brother Love and Royal Rumble ring. You'll be able to check that video out on the channel as well. And last but certainly not least, we're diving back to the Grapplers and Gimmicks line. We got Kurt Fuller, of course, from No Holds Barred. You got to display these guys together. I feel like we just have to do that. At first, I was like, Kurt Fuller, I can't believe they're doing that, but man, it makes all the sense in the world. They had these two guys coming out. He fits with the No Holds Barred. I believe he's got a basic style figure of him coming out as well. Going to fit with your Ultimates or your Elites. Just makes a lot of sense. So I'm here for this Kurt Fuller figure, a sleeper figure for 2025, which seems crazy to say, but I definitely think it is. But quite the retro lineup here, quite the comparisons, quite the set. Some good, some bad, some ugly. Would have loved to have seen the girls a little bit smaller, get some unique molds for them. Just doesn't feel like enough love and attention was put in those right here. Zeus, I'd almost say absolutely perfect. I love the Zeus figure, and I like the Hulk Hogan figure. I just wish it was a different body style. I'm over this body style with the hair trigger on the Nikolai Kickalai movement there. Nice to get a new belt, though. I will say that. That helps that Hulk Hogan figure a little bit in my eyes. But what about your eyes? Where do you feel about this retro line? You here for these? Long game, no game, pass game? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, the best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. Plenty of stuff to keep you busy between both YouTube channels over there. SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and now on TikTok. So for the latest Mattel Creations Retro 4-pack, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.